Hello, good evening, and welcome. Welcome, all my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. Hi. We have Kerbal Space Program V1.1.3.1289X64 CSQUAD, comma 2011-2. Oh wait, no, that's the version number. Yeah, we have a new version of Kerbal Space Program here, where many things have been changed. It's really interesting how a lot of the stuff that's happened has been kind of small. And actually, let's go back, because I don't know what I'm going to do tonight, but we're going to figure things out. Okay, tidy up debris. I'm just wanting to see contract deadlines as dates. There's all these new options here that have been added. Regain control point on enter IVA. Oh, nice. And audio. Oh, yeah, music set to 0. That's very good. I'm wondering whether I should enable my joystick. I probably shouldn't enable my joystick because that would just be dangerous. So I is going to move my joystick over here for now. And I just dropped something on the floor. Can't be helped. We're just going to have to live with whatever it is on the floor, while it makes its epic trek from the floor back to the desk to be with all its friends. You know, the other cables or whatever, right? Because, you know, it's like Toy Story, but with USB cables and microphone cables and things like that. So, yes, hello to everyone here. Let's just come back out of this. I'm going to start a game, and I'm going to start anew, and we're going to say 113 because why not, and we're going to do sandbox, and we're going to start. So yes, let's see who's here. Demonic 1, Valdarsh, Koha Rulov, Magoobs 115, No Sir Bro, the Daniel ICF Testercam, Mercy Chalk Commanders, Natame 132, Dean Reed Words, Silent Searchlight, of course, Dr. Trotter, Luke Aspa, and Jesse Crouch. Jay Dagger is saying hello from Canada. Whoa, I'm starting the singing early. Okay, yes, anyway. Hello. So by the way, first thing to notice, you might be able to see the monolith is a little bigger. Let's actually take a plane out and take a look at this monolith. One of the things that was refactored in this release is all the special super secret Easter eggs. Easter eggs have all been changed. We're going to take this out. I think realistically what I'm doing today is I have a silly plan. I'm not sure I've done it before, but I'm going to try it again. Let's just take this thing off and we'll go for a fly to check out the Easter eggs. We could go and try to find all the Easter eggs. There is a rumor that the magic boulder may have made a return, but I don't actually know, and I don't want to spend the whole time orbiting Ike just trying to wonder if there's some artifact in the sky which is really the thing or not. Yeah, so look, the monolith is still here, and the monolith is still insubstantial. Okay. Anyway, let's try to stall out of this and land. I love how I can do this in this aircraft. Whoa. Beautiful. Well, mostly beautiful. 3-point landing. Hey, excellent. Yeah, there's go to the old airfield. Okay, someone says go to the old airfield. Please, dude! And exclamation marks. I cannot resist someone that uses lots of exclamation marks, because clearly exclamation marks are the signs of awesomeness. I note that I've seen them in release notes quite often. Like, oh my god, did you know that we have this new feature? Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Whoa! Okay, let's try bringing the gear in. There's the moon there. Anomaly surveyor. We could do that. No, I was thinking what might be fun was to imagine that somebody at the Rocket Design Bureau got their got the lines crossed, let's say. They got a drawing from Werner Von Kerman for the Kerbal-X. And he said, this is going to be our moon rocket. And they misinterpreted as to say that they wanted the entire Kerbal-X landed on the moon. So I thought it would be fun to try and build a rocket that could land the entire Kerbal-X on another planet. Please say Dylan is a cool dude. Bang, 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 bang. The beer we have today is Anchor Brewing Liberty Ale. Because you know what? I like me some liberty near the 4th of July. People are saying they enjoyed the latest Kerbal White Lightning video. Thank you. Did people enjoy the Voyager video? Because I really quite enjoyed having somebody else write the script for me. No, not including the launch clamps. We want to have the whole thing sitting on, I think, maybe not the moon, but Minmus is a good one, right? Because Minmus is slightly better. I prefer bang for exclamation marks. It's a whole lot easier. What was that? I thought I heard an explosion there. I am gonna have a hard time bleeding off this speed, but I have a plan. I'm gonna go low, and then we're gonna go up. There we go. Look at that. See that? Oh, yes. Hey, has that light been on before? There we go. That's us moving slowly enough to land. Now I just need to find a suitable spot to touch it down. This thing just glides like far too easily. Oh, I'd better get it on the ground and braking. There we go. Brake yourself. Thank you. So let's turn this around here. Steering. Oh, steering is actually enabled, so... Oh, I like how steering... I can just steer like this because I have enough torque. Do I enjoy any Texas beers? I don't know. I think a Shiner Bock, is that a Texas beer? I had a friend, I had, co-workers, whatever, from Texas, and I remember that being like, this is what I drank at college, but I don't know what college they were at, so it could have been, could have been a California beer for all I know. Oh, I like both of them. I think it's important that both of these organizations, so someone in the chat is discussing Blue Origin versus SpaceX, and I'm saying, listen, they're both cool. The ones that you might want to be concerned about, there's other people. Okay, oh yes, they still have these things here. Oh, just put the brakes on. Remember these? Oh, they've shrunk one of these things here. That's different, actually. See that? Oh, because that used to be a 3-person capsule. I wonder if this is a new thing, actually. Okay, come on. I haven't been here in a while, and I mean, obviously, the old Mark I capsule was never that big, right? It was the same size as those little things around here, the little engine and the fuel tank. Yeah. I don't have any thoughts on what Blue Origin's countdown clock is like. Anyway, yes. So yeah, someone's pointing out that Blue Origin, their hold clock is very nice. Let's go to the Space Center, and we're going to start building this thing. Now, Kerkula 80. I know that's a funny joke, but we're not going to get into politics here. We're not going to be doing that. There's too much going on. Okay, so let's look into Kerbal-X. So we're going to obviously have to ditch these launch clamps because we can't carry those all the way to the moon. Have I ever used Linux command line like every single day for the past 23 years? I use CCAN. I've used it as a command line format on Mac and everything. Yeah. Yeah, odds are if you've used the Linux command line, you've probably used some of my code somewhere. That's just the nature of open source software, right? That everybody, their code gets kind of shared around and incorporated into things. Or maybe excised for being terrible. It's entirely likely that someone found my code and then said, "Oh my god, this code is written by a numpty that has no clue what he's doing. Let's excise it from the build." Okay, so now I thought we would have mech jab, but we don't have mech. I thought that's unfortunate. I'm not going to have to wait to calculate my delta V because mech jab is apparently underperforming. So let's actually just see if I can put this on the front here and see if that'll help. Okay, now maybe let's try this. Reroute. Oh no. No. Okay, that's interesting. This, that's the thing, and we don't get that. Let's leave this. I'm gonna don't save. And then I'm going to go back in. Have I ever done Lisp hacking? I've used Lisp because I've used Emacs. The magic boulder is supposed to be orbiting Ike, which isn't so much a moon as it isn't a planet. Actually, it's a moon. Pardon me. Of Duna. Duna, that's where it is. Okay, well, forget about this. I'm just going to have to guess how much rocket I'm going to need to take this whole thing to the surface of the moon. And when I say rocket to the surface of the moon, we're gonna have to put like landing gear and stuff on it, right? They did remove the magic boulder. It wasn't deliberately removed. It was just some code changed, and because it was one of those things that was really hard to find, people weren't really sure it had been removed for a long time, until people were like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure it got removed." And somebody checked the code, and then they realized that yeah, the actual relevant bits of code had gone. Okay, so we're going to need like some sort of bracing structure here. So what I want to do is have modular girder segments. Oh yeah, we'll do that. And then this will be the thing. Have I ever considered to make a Let's Program channel? That would be interesting, but I'm not sure that I can do that with my day job, because you have to be very careful about conflicts of interest and things like that. So I can't honestly say whether I could do that or not, so I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so that'll actually do, and these will be, so we'll need some like engine strapped to this, but that's fine. We'll figure that out when we get to it. What am I looking for here? I'm going to have to make this bigger. But this is going to be the stage that has to land, so we need to have some engines underneath this. Okay. And we're going to need the big landing gear. I think actually I'm just going to use this, and I'm going to take it to Minmus. That's what we're going to do. We'll just use struts. Struts for the whole thing. Strut your funky stuff. And then we'll put some lateral bracing on there. That is not ideal. Oh crap. Control Z yourself back. There. This to this. Keep it nice and keep the length changes important. Gotta remember, triangles, triangles, triangles. Any recommendations on a good astrodynamics college? I do not actually know, because what I did was I did astronomy, right? And I just happened to learn a bunch of astrodynamics because I was doing astronomy, right? And really, Kerbal Space Program taught me how to use a lot of my astrodynamics. I guess I'm just going to have to leave that as it is. How do I make these things work? You know what? Maybe this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. Tool, rotate. We're going to rotate it downwards more. There we go. And then we'll put like little engines strapped to the exterior here. So these will be for landing on Minmus, and we're gonna need these things. Right, so these will be for like the final terminal descent phase. I think I can probably duplicate these things. I just wish I had an idea of how much delta V this thing was going to have at this point. When will we have KSP on a PlayStation 4? I cannot honestly say, but I would hope that it's soon. WGN Network, I write software at a rather major software company. And people are saying, you work at Apple. Yes, I work at Apple, but what I'm doing right now is nothing to do with my day job. Let's be clear about that. I was a software dev for many, many years. Okay, so that's going to be the landing setup. You know what? So what I can do actually, right? So let's actually test this. Because I don't have the delta V display, so I don't even know if this is going to work. But this looks pretty cool, I have to say. I'm going to just hyper edit it into orbit of the place. Reference body, Minmus. And we'll put you in a 10-kilometer orbit. Apply. Duh! Bingo! Look, isn't that great? Hyper edit saves mucho time. Now, these are on here. Need to pop these in. Drag them down. And then we need to point retrograde. Fire these engines. And... Oh, the wrong place to do this. Let's just see how fast this liquid fuel runs out. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, this thing is going to have tons of room to do this maneuvering. That's actually pretty good. I wonder if I can actually land it like this. I mean, this is actually pretty good. I just need to now get this whole thing into orbit of the Earth like this. Yeah, orbit speed essentially dropping to nothing. We are going to land this thing, at least we're going to try landing this thing on the Minmus. So let's see how we're going. And I think there might be family running around in the background. My altitude is going the wrong way. It doesn't matter. We're just testing this out right now, right? Unfortunately, it seems that my thingy's not working. Where is it? I don't have mech Jeb and I don't have engineer, so I don't really know how efficient my rocket is going to be. Felix Gren! Hi, I've heard you before. You're from Scandinavia. Oh wait, of course, you've mentioned that before. I've had a chance to look at Children of a Dead Earth. I've looked at it, but there's no demo or anything, right? So I can't really look at anything if I don't have anything to play. I do have a bunch of things that I do have to play, and I will try to do that. We're just going to let this kind of fall down. Did you see the strawberry moon last night? Is that... I saw a nice colored moon right now. I literally can look out the window and it's orange. It's kind of cool. We have Guillaume Games is now hosting us. Yay, Guillaume, you're the man. Okay, no, none of those Holocaust jokes there. Sorry, unless we're talking about nuclear holocausts. Nuclear holocausts are okay. Did I see the... yes, I did. Epic Tech Master 112. I saw... So I went on a date with my wife. We went to a beautiful restaurant, and then we were walking around the lake, and I saw... Wow, there's a satellite. That looks like a really big... Wait, is that the ISS? And it's one of those great moments when you see the ISS and you're like, you didn't even expect it. So it was like, of course, great romantic moment. And then when it was her birthday, we also got a really good flyover. And I was standing outside of Jack London's Last Chance Saloon. And yeah, we had a little moment there as well. Well, let's just see how we're doing in terms of... Electric charge is diminishing somewhat. This takes so long to fall down. Maybe I should probably time accelerate. Okay, let's fire up these engines again. Yeah, I don't see any more flyovers for a long time, so I think I've missed my chance to see any more. But I will point out, so yes, so very important. Anybody in the Bay Area? Is there anybody in the Bay Area that wants to come and play Kerbal Space Program with me next Thursday? Next Thursday, we're going to be doing a live KSP session for me, the general public. Bring your own laptop. We're going to try and save Kerbin from killer asteroids as part of Asteroid Day. So we're going to have some like legit astronauts and stuff there that, we're going to do some cool stuff. And yeah, please, if you are going to be in San Francisco, you're going to have to pay to get into the Academy of Science. But hey, it's the California Academy of Science, which is fantastic. And later in the day, we're going to have a Kerbal session for people that really want to come and hang out and try saving the world and things like that. Yeah. So, hands up, is anybody going to be able to go? Please, please, San Francisco. It's San Francisco. I can't really do anything else, unfortunately. We're going to do some other stuff. I mean, we're going to have Jeff Notkins that going to be there. He's the meteorite. He's one of the meteor men. He's going to be giving away meteor as a prize. There's going to be what else? Well, we get Clark Chapman there. We're going to have the planetarium show is incoming, which gives you some cool science about asteroids. It's narrated by what's his face from Star Trek as well. And we might even have some other cool people there. There's going to be people from, all sorts of people. And I forget every single one of them. But trust me, I'm going to try and make it a good day. I am drinking Liberty Ale from that place. Okay, there we go. And oh, yeah, I should probably fix this. What I had done there was my my rotation setting was wrong. Okay, anyway, Gegenshens, I did tell everyone I was in town. I tweeted about going to Hill Air Force Museum many times on the 4-hour drive, and a couple of people tweeted back saying, great, I'd love to see that. Well, and then they didn't do that, right? So yeah, I did. I tweeted several times. It's just you never responded, right? Or maybe you just don't follow me on Twitter, which is understandable because you perhaps know me from YouTube or Twitch. And Twitter is full of people that aren't that interesting necessarily, but I'm going to say that's where my stuff happens, right? If you want to actually follow my random daily thoughts, Twitter is the place to be. It may not be, I don't know, maybe kind of terrible to be honest, but okay, there, we'll do this. Bingo. Okay, so now we got to build an orbital rocket. I am not going to be in Phoenix anytime soon. Nor am I going to be joining the Order of the Phoenix, just in case. I would love to, but my wizarding skills are not sufficient. Besides, my loyalties are a little vague at times. And I'm sure Voldemort is happy to hear that. Okay. Oh, that's not good. I'm going to undo that. Uh-oh, that's not good. I'm going to just Control Z that. Yeah, I was hoping to be able to rotate one of these things into a usable position, but apparently... Okay, that looks good, right? Why doesn't it want to rotate? You see that? I grab it and it instantly rotates to the side. No, that's not happening. Control Z. I was wanting to rotate these inwards so that the angle of thrust would be... would mean that I was having more efficient, thrust and everything. Okay, let's put this on here and select part to place. It keeps saying select a part to place. So we're going to need the big rockets here, right? And actually, what I'm going to need is some real control systems here. We're going to need some more reaction wheels. Because we're going to need to control this thing on its whole voyage and everything like that. Stick these in here. And we're going to need some structural work done. I was talking with an architect today about, work to be done in the house, and she was like trying to explain the name of these metal beams, and I was like, they're called struts, right? Oh yeah, they're called struts, yeah. No, at Thane 1999, I did actually press F for absolute orientation, and it didn't work. It looks like a slight bug. Like, as soon as I touched it, it rotated in a different axis. I did see a tweet from Ms. Rowling saying that talking about in Harry Potter what Vernon Dursley would be voting on Thursday. And I'm sure you can imagine what Vernon Dursley would be voting for. Okay, so I'm going to use the vacuum engine. And then on the outside, we'll strap on some bigger ones, and we'll use the quad RS-24 things, right? I think that might actually get us all the way, but I'm gonna find out. I honestly don't know. Well, I don't really know. Sorry, that's a reference to an old TV show that probably nobody here knows about, because you're all, young whippersnappers that come from a different era. Okay, we could have these. We can have the nose cones. That's what we could do. Or structural. We're going to need something here. We can do this. And we can't put fuel in that. So I might as well just make these light nose cones. There we go. Oh, not that. I can hear somebody behind me. Reaction wheels. That's good. That's actually a good place to put reaction wheels. Somebody is pointing out. What we really need is more solar panels or more power supplies and things. Oh, you know what? I should definitely put some batteries in there. Batteries. They'll do that. And then we'll put reaction wheels on top of that. Just to give it some control. Because you know what? You can always do carefully designed aerodynamics. Or you can just do reaction wheels all over the joint. Reaction wheel spam is the powerful cheat mode that Kerbal Space Program gives us. And incidentally, I have written several episodes of, Kerbal Space Program doesn't teach you X, Y, Z, right? And I have yet to have a chance to record them because of things like this, right? Things like this going on, right? Getting in the way, like, no, I'm going to run around and scream and watch my stupid TV shows. Yes. Sky, you are supposed to be getting ready for your camp.
Yeah, but
I got a tiara on, that's what it is.
Keep it. No, it's not a tiara.
It's totally a tiara.
Tiara.
Yeah, it's a tiara.
No.
The event for Asteroid Day Epic Tech Master is June 30th. Take a look on the Facebook. I'll be tweeting about it for the next week, so just keep track of it if you want to come. If you've come from this chat, I might even have some special stuff for you. I don't honestly know what that would be, but it sounds like a fun thing to say. Okay. So, bond these together. Bond these together. That's good.
It's the
Kerbal. This is Kerbal-X, but we need to rename it to the Kerbal-X, right? Oh. Apparently somebody has enabled caps lock here, and that somebody would be a little girl that is standing near to me. That she likes to type her name in all caps.
Because it sounds like I'm yelling it.
Yeah, no, that is just wrong.
Why?
That is against the rules of the internet.
What's wrong?
It's totally against the rules of the internet.
What's so wrong about that?
Trust me, it's against the rules of the internets.
Well, tell me where the rules are.
They're all on the internets. I mean, obviously, rules for the internets are on the internets.
So you could be breaking the rules while you're reading the rules of the internet?
Yes, you could be. But you know what? I don't, because I follow the rules of the internets. Apparently, I've messed up my staging. There we go. That comes down here. And that needs to go here. Excellent.
I have the door on.
Okay. I think that's looking pretty good. You know, we could use some... You know what I could use, actually? And I hadn't even thought about it. Does this have... Oh, actually, you know what? I shouldn't be using fuel from that, but I could probably put vernier thrusters on this. There, so that'll help with the steering. There we go. You think you think this rocket's going to explode? I think it just might not have enough delta V. That's my worry. I don't even know if it'll have enough thrust to weight ratio, to be honest, on liftoff. I mean, I could always just add more rockets just to be sure. That seems like a good plan. More rockets are always a good plan, right? Oh, no, we've got these ones, right? Ah. I might need to move my launch clamps a bit. There we go. And in here... Okay, so... Oh, that's the problem. This thing isn't on straight. Always so careful. Sometimes I long for a simpler time when rockets were like rockets and things like that. Okay, Sir Kerbal-X. That's us. What about the SAS units? They're just gonna be... They're gonna be fine. Are we ready? Let's see what happens. Valentina's gonna lead this mission. Okay, let's just see, actually. Oh, you know what? I realize that these need to be on different stages. Bingo. Oh, and you know what? I forgot my fuel lines. I need to revert flight to vehicle assembly and fix this. I just realized I don't have fuel lines in this. How could I forget fuel lines? Fuel lines are love. Fuel lines are life. The fuel, it must flow for our hearts to beat with the love that drives us into space. Poetry. Okay, and I need 6 of them, obviously. There we go. That's more like it. I should probably put some struts on this thing, right? Bingo. Bango. Bingo. Bango. Save and launch. Epic Tech Master might be volunteering for an Asteroid Day event. You forget it was a long time ago. Well, if you're going to be in the Bay Area, I don't know. Like, we really appreciate it. Asteroid Day is pretty awesome. Hey, it lifts off! Now, let's... It's accelerating at quite a serious pace. And the good news is the solid fuel is burning faster than liquid fuel, so that's okay. Excellent. Hey, trolling since 1996 says, hello from Dubai. How do I know you're not trolling me? I mean, I guess you could be like, hi from Dubai, where we build islands that look like whatever we want because it's Dubai. Dubai's pretty cool like that. I mean, actually, seriously... that Pilot 124 got my Bingo Bango reference. Dr. Trotter says he's building a telescope, and I do wish you luck. McThulu, actually, what I've started to notice is that people are actually unsubscribing when I post a Stellaris video. So I'm posting them in the playlist, and from this point forth, I'm probably not going to be posting Stellaris videos unless we get some major DLC. I mean, I'm going to post Stellaris videos when I get a chance to play it again, but they won't be posted to subscribers. They'll just turn up in the playlist. And... Whoa! Yes! Okay. Oh! Well, there's some staging issues. This thing can still go to space, of course. Oh, man. What am I missing here? Is it... Oh, yeah, we're missing a rocket on one of these. I should probably ditch it. There we go. Oh, yeah. That's more like it, but we still have an asymmetric load here. This can totally get to the moon at this point, but I'm not going to the moon. I want to get the whole thing there. So did I mean, there's no staging issues here, right? Oh, I did! I messed up the staging! That's what happened. Oh, the hilarity. Oh, the hilarity. I do like that a perfectly functional rocket emerged from that fireball. Oh, the RFO. So Epic Tech Master is going to be volunteering at the RFO for Asteroid Day. And for that, Epic Tech Master, you need to ping me on Twitter or something, and I will send you some free games or something. Because people that do cool things deserve free games, since I actually have many. And I blocked the main engine. What do you mean I blocked the main engine? Yeah, there was some staging with the main engine I needed to fix, right? Oh, wait a second. Oh, you're right, I blocked the main engine. What a moron. Okay, so I need to do this, 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 this. Okay, there we go. One more attempt. Thank you. This is crowd-funded rocketry and everything. Not crowd-sourced rocketry. Yes, no sir bro is reminding me that people were in fact pointing out that my reaction fuel setup was broken. As I've said before, I like the whole learning thing. Okay, let's just hold this on prograde and see what happens. Let's check this. Good. Oh, well, of course we have a plane there. Jebediah Kerbin. Do you think this will get all the way to Minmus? Well, I did kind of find out the hard way. We explodified everything in a simulation. I don't know, that I've not had a great reliability with engines getting broken through, you know, launching or whatever, through burning on top of them, bits and pieces. Uh-oh. Yeah, you don't want to swallow rubber bands, because they kind of sit inside your stomach for 7 years. That's not true. That's what people say about gum. That's not true either. You know what? I could just do this and say, follow that. Yeah, there we go. Hey, heating up. We're getting on fire, baby. Okay, and we lost some engines. I'm wondering if I can still get to space with 2 of these engines. Maybe I can turn this engine off. Shut down engine. Okay. It's fun to try and fly these things to orbit, right? I'm gonna let it rotate all the way around, and then I'm gonna throttle up a little, but not a lot. Once we start going sideways, that's when I'm going to start the engines. There we go. Let's see if we can arrest this rotation. Okay, come on back there. Come on back. You know you want to. Maybe if I give myself more thrust, it'll give me more control authority. There, now the trick is making sure that I don't fall sideways. We're still going upwards. That's right. And as soon as it starts to come back, I shall throttle up more. That's right. Oh, yes. We're doing this. We're totally doing this. Excellent. We're going to get this thing into space. Because that center engine, we're gonna ditch that soon. This is not going to be a perfect orbit by any means at all. In fact, I'm going to let this float around for a little while. Ah, yeah. We're not going to go to the moon. I think we're going to try for Minmus, but I don't know how much Delta V I have. It's entirely possible I will not get there. In which case, I will need to go back and redesign these things. Okay, 109 kilometers. And once again, throttle these engines up. There we go. We're getting about 1g acceleration at this low level of thrust. Oh, you know what I could do, actually? Ah, now I think about it. I wonder if I can transfer this fuel sideways. Okay, look. Hold on. In. This is kind of an asymmetric transfer, right? Come on, come on, come on! We don't want to fall out of the sky just yet. Okay, so that one. In. So we're refueling the boosters from the boosters that don't have any fuel in them, right? What a brilliant plan, since we've got 3 of them that are essentially unfueled at this time. Oh, you know what I could be doing, actually? Oh, wow. I should have been doing this. Okay. In, and... Oh, crap. In. What I was thinking was I should have shut down these external engines and done this. And apparently we're falling back towards the surface, and I need to do this. I need to do this very, very quickly. And go! Let's get this nose up. Excellent. What a genius plan this is. We're using some extra fuel from these tanks, and that's going to get us all the way closer. I don't know, maybe it'll get us some way there. And hopefully we won't spin out of control once again. Come on, come on, come on. And... oh, okay. That's pretty good. We're still falling, though, so I should stage. Stage, and need to be pointing the right direction. Could enable the RCS thrusters. Oh, man, this is going to be hard. Oh, gonna fall back. Gonna fall back to Earth. Back to Kerbin. I keep forgetting I'm not playing Realism Overhaul. Man. How much fuel do I have? Yeah, fuel. Okay. I mean, at least if I start aiming in roughly the right direction, I can fire up the engines and that'll give me some control, right? So there we go. Not that way. That way. I'm out of here. Yes! Get myself some... Gotta put some vertical thrust on this thing to bring it up above the horizon. Make sure that I'm not falling downwards anymore. This is totally gonna work. I tell you, it's totally gonna work. Totally. Well, except for the fact that we're kind of low thrust here. I'm pretty sure I can make this work. Eventually. I'm getting really close to orbital velocity, so just watch this. It's going to go to 0 and then we will be scot-free. Soon. Soon. I'm feeling it. Definitely feeling it. I mean, look, we're going to be getting into orbit soon. Oh, 70 kilometers. Not good. We're definitely going to do it, though. I have faith. I have more than faith. I have a presumption of scientific awesomeness. Scientific knowledge that will, in fact, make... Oh, look, Periaps is rising. Periaps is rising! And that is the mark that we are in orbit. And then the last thing we want is just a marker telling us that we are going upwards instead of downwards. 56, 55, 54. Almost there. You know what? If I can just point this straight up. Hold on. Point all the way upwards and just kill that vertical speed. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And 65. And we're there. Okay. Now we're going to be there. We're going to be there. Okay, so we are going to get out of this. It's probably going to slow us down a bit, but we are going to be okay. Next thing we need to do is slide through the atmosphere sideways for no reason other than why not. I don't want to adjust my attitude. And then we need to start setting course for Minmus. Set as target. I'll set our prograde velocity thing. Look at that. I'm probably going to be running out of battery power actually doing this. Have you ever thought about teaching science, astronomy, or say rocket engineering? Well, first of all, I'm not qualified as a rocket engineer. I probably know a decent amount of astronomy. I like making videos, and that's really where my skills, I guess, lies. I totally like doing it, but you know what they say is, like, the people that really are teaching this are doing it are far more qualified than me. Okay, so we're gonna go. Oh, wait a second. I need to find... Oh, man, that's there. It's like worst possible location. I want to add the maneuver to lift my periaps. There, 123. We'll be fine. That's what we're going to do. Is we're just going to raise this and then we're going to figure our orbit out next. 64. 120. Okay. Set for not target, maneuver. Okay. So now, while that's working, I can take this hat off and cool down a little. I'm going to wait for this thing to get into the correct orientation. I'm wondering if I have any fuel cells or anything on this. Probably not. How am I doing on power? No electric charge. That could be a problem. Well, let's turn this off and turn this back on now. Hopefully when we come out into the sun, we shall get some power back. Now, notice, by the way, we are rotating. I'm thinking, and I haven't seen this in the patch notes, but it looks like they have re-added, or they've added in persistent rotation, which would be pretty cool to have in the base game rather than having to download a mod to get this feature. Okay, let's hope I can get back to life with when the sun touches my spacecraft. We have 2 minutes to get to the correct orientation. Okay. There is a small amount of stuff there. We're trying to turn. And it could take a very long time to get pointing in the right direction. Maybe I should disable SAS for a second. Let this thing recharge. Because I don't think we're getting much power from it. Oh, man. This is going to be the real danger, that I don't turn the spacecraft around in time to make that maneuver that I need. I'm just going to rotate, and that's it. Yeah, like, just touching is making me rotate very slowly. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I would love to teach astronomy, but I just don't have the spare time. And honestly, I think there are people that are trained as teachers. I'm somebody that knows a lot of random things. You know, people ask, how did you learn all this stuff? The truth is, I read a lot of books, I've watched a lot of documentaries, and I don't forget any of it. Like, during your life, you're going to be exposed to so much amazing knowledge. And the trick is simply don't forget any of it, right? And, you know, it will serve you well. I'm glad that I've taught. It's the best thing. Honestly, if I have a video that gets 1 million views, that's a great feeling. But the best feeling is when people come in and they're like, hey, you know, you actually taught me physics. And I'm like, I didn't mean to do that, but I'm really glad that I made that kind of difference to people, you know? Come on. Gotta get this to turn the right way. Still rotating very slowly here. Bingo. Right, I mean, this is the thing. Like, people forget so many things. And I think I'm just pretty good at remembering. I have a really good memory for music. Like, if I've heard a piece of music, I never forget it. And I have the most strange melodies and ditties that are floating around in my head just because I never really forget it. Okay, well, at least I'll be able to get this thing into orbit. I'm going to fire up the engines now and use the extra torque that they provide and the extra power to bring myself into the correct orientation here. There we go. Bring myself safely into orbit. So actually, that's me safely in orbit now. So I could probably just cut this thing out now. Okay, now SAS. Disable SAS because I gotta let the spacecraft recharge. So I'm just gonna let it rotate into whatever position works for it. Very slowly getting power. Okay. I think what I'll do is I'll just do time warp and we'll just let the thing recharge. I mean, I can afford to do this because I'm waiting kind of for... Actually, we're in a pretty good position, so I just need to make sure we have enough power to perform this burn that will take us out to Minmus. The question is, do we have enough delta V in this stage? And I suspect probably not. Because I'm going to need almost 1 kilometer per second, and I haven't done the math to figure out if I have that. For some reason, mechanical jab is failing me. Yep, let's just do this. Let's get this set up. I'll do this slower. 10 minutes. And the maneuver. Zippity, 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 zip, 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 zip. Oh, and we missed the moon there. And... Come on. There we go. Got ourselves an encounter. Oh, excellent. 842 meters per second. So... Okay, I'm going to stop this now. And... I'm going to push myself into the correct orientation. And that uses a ton of power. Yeah, by the way, yeah, sad to hear about Anton Yelchin. And it's real shame because he was thoroughly entertaining in the Star Trek movies. He did a great Chekhov. And it's sad to see, but, you know, strange things happen. Also, you know, got to pour one out for 1-1. That's right. 1-1 was last of his kind. Something special. Okay. For those of you who don't know, that's Game of Thrones reference. And if you haven't seen the latest reference of Game of Thrones, yeah. That's unfortunate. So, yeah. I know it's bizarre. Always make sure, you know, like, put your handbrake on and stuff, right? Seriously. Who am I voting for in this election? I am not a US citizen, so therefore I cannot yet vote in the US elections. And I haven't done anything in the UK, so I'm not really voting there. So yeah, I'm basically completely screwed. Kurkula 80, you might... I'm gonna... Yeah, please don't spoil Game of Thrones. You know what? Oh dear. No, there's so many things. Pilot 124, no, you will be pitied if you haven't seen Game of Thrones, but I understand that a lot of people haven't seen it because it is a pretty intense show. It is seriously hardcore. Well, I think it really is an interesting sign that third-party candidates in the US are actually polling really highly. Gary Johnson in particular. Now, I don't think Gary Johnson is going to do anything but take votes away from Trump, but it is interesting he's polling so highly. And I think it's just mostly because the lack of approval of any of the major candidates is so high. I do also think that it's kind of funny that we've had all these things in the news about, well, you know, finally I can tell my daughter that she can be a world leader. And I'm like, I grew up in Britain. We had Margaret Thatcher, right? Like, we had women as world leaders before Hillary Clinton. You know what? Margaret Thatcher, for all her flaws, was also a scientist. So we had a woman that was the prime minister and a scientist, right? We got both of both of those careers that are often not associated or hard for women to really do well in. If you haven't, you know what? Game of Thrones I thoroughly recommend. But yeah, you know, you gotta at least be a grown up to really start appreciating it, right? Okay, I think we're facing roughly the right direction. We're going to run out of power soon. I'm going to hold this and see if you know what? Maybe we don't have persistent rotation. Maybe that was just me imagining something. Yeah, I do not think we're going to have the fuel to get us all the way there. Also, by the way, NBA final. Oh man, that was hard to watch. Oh, that was so back and forth, and yeah, that was painful. We were at a party in a park with DJs, like on the beach essentially, and we had a screen set up next to the DJ so we could watch this game. That was, you know, special. There we go. Now it says we're going to need 1 minute to do this, and I don't think we're going to get 3, 2... estimated burn is too high. So the time that it's going to take to burn through this, oh man, this is going to be so close. And the good news is that this engine at least is recharging my batteries. Actually, now I think of it, we might actually make this thing. I may have totally guessed this right. Or, I mean, obviously we had problems with exploding things, but I think we may actually have a chance to do this. Holy moly, yes! Yes! This is actually going to do it. This is going to have enough delta V to get there, and then the real question is, can it get into orbit with the you know, what it has? The big problem it has really is that it doesn't have enough battery charge, but once we're out floating in space, that should be less of an issue. Yeah, I know, it's all sports ball to me, but having a local team in the finals is pretty cool, right? I'm a fair weather fan, but at the same time, I would have really liked a victory parade. That would have been pretty darn cool. Last year, we had a victory parade where there was a giant fire-breathing metal snail. And on the back of that snail, to make things even stranger, were the mayor and MC Hammer. That's right, we had MC Hammer riding a fire-breathing snail. And that is way cooler than Daenerys Targaryen flying a dragon. Well, actually, no, it's not. But still, it's pretty cool. Fire-breathing snail versus a dragon. I don't know where my money would be. Oh, yes. My money would be on that dragon. Okay. And we just got to cut the thrust at the right moment here. Yes, that's right. Because he'd be like riding around in the back of his snail and like fire breathing the ships and stuff. And Daenerys would be like trying to flame him. And he'd be like, ha! Can't touch this. Right? They'd miss him. He'd be like, huh! Can't touch this. Okay, now. Next thing I'm going to do is put a rotation onto this. Because we would really like to make sure that we can see the solar panels getting recharged. We have 0 charge coming in at this point, but soon, my friends, soon those panels will feel the warmth of sunlight and they will be making my electrical heart beat once more with the joy of electricity. Look at that escargot. Damn it, somebody made the joke that I was going to make. Right? Like, yeah, I'm a guy that likes eating snails. I want a big S on my car. I want a big S on this door. I want a big S on that door. I want an S everywhere. You know what? This thing is actually... yeah, rotation. Okay. Let's do this. Let's see where we go. And we do have plenty of delta V actually left in that final stage. Okay, let's get out from behind the planet. There we go. And we're recharging. Okay. Good, good, good. Now we are on our way to Minmus, and we're going to try and carefully put it into an orbit where we can get it as close as possible. Okay, we're 1,000 kilometers out. I'm just going to accept that because I think we might be able to do that. That's okay. Irritation X, you are totally within your power to steal my punchline. Because it is a terrible punchline. Besides, my favorite joke purposely doesn't have a punchline. It sets people up expecting there's going to be a really funny punchline, and then there's no punchline. Like, and people are just like, what? And the joke is the look on their faces when they realize that they've listened to my ridiculous story and there's no punchline. Okay. You know what's funny, actually? Notice this. There's actually 2 different encounters going on here. Yeah, there's... Oh, wait a sec. That's what it is. Okay, bingo. We're going to go past that way. That's what's going on. And we need to add a maneuver here. And we need to slow ourselves down. Oh, I said we need to slow ourselves down. Oh, too much here. Okay. That is wrong. Add a maneuver. I'm just going to drag it out this time. Somebody thinks that the Vikings show is better than Game of Thrones. I have to disagree with that. As much as I think Vikings are awesome, no. Also, okay, there's a lot of anachronistic stuff in the Vikings show, whereas since Game of Thrones is complete fantasy, it can be as anachronistic as it likes, and you can't complain about it. Okay, so now we need to rotate this thing. I'm gonna do that. Start a rotation. Yes! Glenn 7252 knows exactly about the joke that I was talking about. Is retrograde better than normal, anti-normal? The only case you'd use a normal or anti-normal burn is if you're adjusting your inclination. I am not doing an inclination change. Also, by the way, if you haven't seen Game of Thrones, but you're looking for something similar, maybe, and you've maybe seen all the Game of Thrones and you haven't seen Rome. Rome is awesome. Rome was my favorite TV show until Game of Thrones came along. Seriously. Okay, actually, Babylon 5 still is my favorite TV show ever. Yes. I am out of beer, and honestly, I have to have a work day tomorrow. I think I'm totally going to be able to land this on Minmus. Deadwood, that's another fantastic... Yeah, HBO is just full of fantastic shows. I gotta say, 6 Feet Under, a big fan of that as well. And I'm gonna admit to it, I am a huge fan of Sex and the City. It is a fantastic show. I know that it has this reputation as being one of those things that only girls watch, but I'm sorry. I'm Scott Manley, and therefore I feel no problem admitting that I loved Sex and the City. Right? There you go. What do I think of Silicon Valley? Oh, Silicon Valley is so close to home. It is... Oh, wow. Silicon Valley is an interesting show, but sometimes the jokes are a bit too close to home for comfort. Fixley is like, okay, you've lost me. Okay, some people just aren't up with the ladies from New York. Okay. Beer's gone, life is over. That's it. Now. So I guess we haven't yet had persistent rotation brought in, because I thought I observed it around Dres, but it might have been a coordinate transform issue. We're still going to need a 24-second burn. This might put it at the limit of what this rocket is capable of, but... might have just enough to get in, and then maybe a circularization burn. I don't know. The time at Scott's Place is 11:09 p.m. Oh man. When do you lower periapsis with a blue node, and when do you use retro and moon? Well, when you're moon capturing, you ideally want to be as close to the target as possible, because that will maximize the Oberth effect, and frankly, I'm too lazy to do that. In this case, I know that I've got probably 300, 400 meters per second of delta V in that top stage there. Okay, so we're going to do this, and I'm going to fire up to like 50% thrust, and I'm going to follow this here. I'm going to come out here, actually. I'm going to watch the burn happen. There we go. And hopefully I won't run out of fuel here. And I want to get it as close as possible to the surface. 127. I'm raising my hand. Oh wait, I'm not from the Bay Area, but I live in the Bay Area. And anyone in the Bay Area who a week on Thursday, gotta say, Asteroid Day, California Academy of Sciences, and possible Kerbal game with real astronauts and things like that. It's all good. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. I'm minimizing my thrust now because this will fall down very, very, very quickly. Retrograde burn. And we want to get it as close as possible. Close as possible. We're going to go as low as we can, and hopefully the fuel won't burn out. I think I might have judged this just about right. I mean, even accounting for the exploding rocket parts and things like Metallica. I wasn't as much of a fan of them for a long time, but once I moved to the Bay Area, I really started to catch up with them and everything. And one of my favorite things was one of the coolest things about Metallica, was when I was flying out of San Francisco. Oh, look at the amount of fuel I have here. This is fantastic. Okay. I'm going to just turn it prograde. I'm going to do this. Turn it prograde like this. I'm going to turn before I get there. Yeah. But I was flying through San Francisco, out of San Francisco airport, and I think it was Kirk Hammett had a museum. They took his collection of movie monster stuff and put it in a museum in the departure terminal, so I could hang out and look at all these cool things, all these cool bits and pieces that he had. If we get a chance, check out the RFO table at the Asteroid Day event. I may be there, but you may not be. I will try to. I've got so much stuff going on. Okay. Silent Searchlight has a funny San Jose air traffic control quote to share. Please do. Master! 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 I can't. My throat is actually hurting. Enter Sandman. Yeah, I see. I kind of appreciate Metallica for what they are, but I guess I don't. None of their tunes stand out quite as much as some of my favorite tunes that I have. Okay. And we're getting close to this. Someone had a chalupa from Taco Bell. Yeah, it was free taco day. Did anybody get the free taco from Taco Bell? Okay, we're now falling down to the surface. And this is where I have to be careful. Oh, you know what I should actually do before I get too close? Let's get myself a maneuver plan here. Add maneuver. See, this is when I realized that I probably blew it because I did that burn. I didn't adjust my burn in flight. I should have really adjusted that burn in flight, and I might still be set up pretty well, but oh, Minmus 11 kilometers. Excellent. Okay. That is what we need. 58 meters per second. This. And 5-second burn. I think we're going to run out, unfortunately, before that. At which point we're going to have to start using the landing thrusters. But I think we are going to be well set up for this. You know, here's the thing. I mean, I love all sorts of music. I'm not like beholden to, you know, what is metal versus what is electronic. It's all good to me, right? It's all good. I was a big fan of John Peel, and I just really appreciated the fact that he could put country and western right next to black metal. Like, that's just the way it is. Okay, and here we go. I'm going to start firing those engines. And we'll see what we can do here. Retrograde burn. Oh, and we are out of fuel in this stage. Okay. So at this point, I'm sorry, we're going to cut you loose. And time to fire up these engines. And we're going to have to just burn this, because that's all we can do. So we'll bring this down. And now we're going to try landing it. So if you joined us late, the story is that, ace rocket scientist Werner Von Kerman delivered the plans for the Kerbal-X to the rocket manufacturers. They misinterpreted it and thought that he wanted the entire rocket landed on the surface of Minmus. And that's what we're really trying to do. And so I guess this is where I'm going to land, because this is a nice flat area. Let's do this. I just realized I haven't quick saved. I should probably do that. Oh, man. It is funny on Twitch that there is a huge delay. I don't know if anybody's quantified the delay, right? Oh man, Jake Dowdy is saying new music sucks. I'm sorry, that is totally the wrong answer. New music is just not music that you like. I understand that you're old and set in your ways, but new music is still cool. Well, pardon me. Okay. So we're going to come down over here. And I think we're going to do fine here. Okay, so that's us coming down over the flat area. And I'm quick saving. Oh, they moved the quick saving notice up to there. Uh-oh. This might be a problem. 15, 16. Okay, there we are. We're coming over the plains. And the first thing that's going to happen is it's going to rotate. So I'm very worried that we might actually run out of electricity before we get into the correct orientation. Oh, 3 of 12. Just only getting half of the story. Okay, here we go. And this thing is actually starting to pinch my ears a little. I'm just going to fire these engines up just a little. We're still a long way up, but it's going to get us pointed roughly the right way. Yeah, I mean, so Witty B4 is basically saying, oh, my tastes have calcified. It's actually pretty true that, or it's generally observed that people over the age of about 30 stop getting interested in new music, and it's kind of sad, to be honest. Epic Tech Master, I know you've mentioned that you've seen Jupiter's Red Spot and everything not long ago. It is fantastic, but I can't reply to every single thing that you say in the chat, and just because you keep saying my name doesn't mean that... I mean, okay, I've actually had to say your name, but repeating it 5 times doesn't... Yeah, seriously, chill, right? Okay. How are we doing in terms of fuel production? Yeah, we could keep this burn up for a really long time. Yeah, 3 of 12, as long as you don't use that as justification for buying Android, because then you have to look and see what the Android manufacturers are doing. Seriously. There are standards. This is going to take a while. So I'm just keeping their engines burning at a relatively low rate because they are providing gimbaling forces. They're providing directional forces that are actually useful here. I think I'm going to kill my lateral velocity a little. Vertical speed is actually pretty good. I think, yeah, this is also the problem, is that people, you know, bands go through phases. Sometimes bands tend to, their classic stuff happens early on, and it's rare that bands really, or artists in general, can continue to churn out really good material throughout their career. So it is entirely, you know, justifiable to say, well, their latest album's not that good. I mean, I don't think U2 has done anything as good as the Joshua Tree or Achtung Baby since then. They've had the occasional good tracks, but the whole albums have never been quite as strong. What do I think of Faith? I loved Faith No More. They were one of my favorite bands ever. They just completely blew me away, and it's kind of cool when I discovered how many of them, how Mike Patton was like a local. Again, you know, Bay Area local. Queen, of course Queen is such a... I'm a huge fan of Queen, especially Brian May, because Brian May, he went back and did his astronomy PhD, right? That is proper badass. Seriously. Like, and he is, of course, into asteroids and everything as well. He was a solar system astronomer. He was originally studying infrared emissions in the zodiacal light, I believe, infrared astronomy. Have I heard of Blaise Bayley? Blaise Bayley. He was... What was his status? I forget. Oh! No, you gotta remind me who Blaise Bayley was. I know his name, but I can't remember. I can't remember what he was with. Okay, I'm gonna throttle up a bit more. I gotta slow myself down. I think I might be descending too quickly now. I don't know, I'm totally guessing this. Oh, that's right. But Blaise Bayley, what was he with? He was with Wolfsbane, wasn't he? I use like Sony DJ headphones from like a decade ago. I need to get a new pair. I was thinking of getting a pair of Grado headphones, mostly because I kind of appreciate their handmade awesomeness. Okay, really gotta work on killing the thrust, killing the vertical speed now. And I can hear this going on. Bohemian Rhapsody is their most famous song, and it's certainly their standout thing. It isn't... It's hard to argue against Bohemian Rhapsody being their best song, but I don't always want to listen to Bohemian Rhapsody, as much as it is absolutely fantastic. I like Seven Seas of Rye. That's one of my favorites. And I mean, another one, Bites the Dust. I really like the funky stuff they got going on there. Okay, throttle this down. Yeah, I quick save, but I don't think I'm gonna need a quick save. This is pretty simple. And look at my fuel margins here. Yeah, Werner Von Kerman's gonna get such a surprise when he sees that we've landed the entire Kerbal-X on the surface of Minmus. Even more surprising after the mess that happened during launch. Will I do a follow-up to... I was hoping to actually see the guys. I was at American Steel where they doing a lot of their building. I was kind of hoping that they might be showing off something. Okay, little over-thrusting there, but otherwise... Touchdown! Touchdown! Excellent! And now we're ready for our mission! Okay. Well, anyway, I think that is as far as we need to go today because, yeah, I actually have many things to do. And I know I kind of started a little late, but yay! Yeah. Okay, and Valentine, I think, wants to get out and go for a walk. I'm going to do that. Hey, Val! Woohoo! Look at her go. Light up that rocket. We still have spare fuel in here. That's the cool part. Plant yourself a flag. We're going to call this KSC2. Okay. KSC2. Once again, sky with our caps lock. Okay. Excellent. Now we can get back inside. What a marvelous day this is. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I hope you appreciated this series of disasters and final success. No, this is the KSC3. No, man. Oh, okay. F. Does Sky know the rules of the internet? She knows some of them. But the most important rule is if you use your video device to watch things I don't approve of, you're going to get shut down. Okay, well, thanks very much, everyone. Have a fantastic night. We're going to be going off and doing other things, but I will be around. I will continue posting videos, and perhaps we shall see you again sometime. Thank you very much, and see you again next week. I'm Scott Manley. Fly safe.